Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Leena ji. And good morning.
Today's session is 196 now.
Yeah.
It's 195 is written there.
Oh, I must have forgotten to change the number, but it's 196. Oh yeah, you're right. I will change it soon. So good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to Empowering Morning Conversations. So every day is an opportunity, to start a new life. Now, that's a very shocking statement for many people. What do you mean a new life? Because actually, every day you have a new body, right? We like to believe that we are the same. We are not. Every day, things are changing. Nothing remains the same, but we somehow want to remain the same. Have you ever wondered why we want to remain the same? What's the reason that wants us to be the same in a world that keeps on changing?
Comfortable.
I mean, why do we want to keep, remaining the same when the world is not the same?
Comfort zone.
When the world is changing all the time, why do we want to remain the same?
Comfort zone.
What is the meaning of comfort zone?
You don't have to hassle yourself.
I can remain comfortable. Isn't it?
Yes.
We want to remain the same. We don't want to change. We want the life to be the same because it feels comfortable. So very interesting, isn't it? Even in our misery, it feels comfortable. Ratanji, what do you have to say? Let's listen to what Ratanji is saying.
It's the memories, our body cells change, but the memories don't change. Even each and every cell holds a memory, and the memory doesn't change. So that's it's a self-effort to change the memories.
Yeah, but why do you have to change your memories? Maybe you don't.
No, I mean, something which is bothering you and which is not giving you, room to progress.
Okay.
And you keep on worrying, and it's like you're on a treadmill. You're doing, but you're not going anywhere. You're running on the treadmill, but you're not going anywhere.
No, that I understand, sir. I understand why would you like to change your life?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're running on the treadmill, you don't want to run on the treadmill, right?
Right. No, but
the question is, why do people want to remain the same? Have you noticed that people have a lot of reluctance to bringing about any serious change in their lives?
Because it takes effort.
Because it takes effort. Okay. So that means we will go on suffering in life because we don't want to make an effort to change things in life, right? Isn't it funny?
Yes.
Any other reason you think why we don't want to change? Or why we don't want a life to be any different? So one is obviously it takes effort and you don't feel comfortable when you have to do that. And what else?
We have to start thinking. We don't know.
That is what I force you to do every morning. Huh?
Yeah.
You have to start thinking. Yes, Neeti, what do you have to say about this?
So often there is a thought that we are very comfortable talking about our ailments or our challenges in life. That gives us a lot of comfort level. So we don't want to give it up because we feel फिर बात करने को कुछ नहीं होगा, हाय करने को कुछ नहीं होगा.
हाँ, because बात तो सिर्फ हाय करने के लिए करते हैं ना.
There are cases who do that.
Yeah, because they have nothing else to talk about. So let us see what our friend from Kathmandu says. Pujanji, you had raised your hand.
Yes, sir. What I was saying is, we can control our mind properly, sir.
No, that's not what the question was. See, you have to start listening. My question was, why do people want to remain the same? They don't want to change. So people said people don't want to change because बहुत effort लगेगा. It's not comfortable. So what do you say? Why do people not want to change? They want to change, but they don't want to change. It's a very strange situation. So no answer. It's all right. You think about it.
It's the inertia of the past that prevents me from changing.
Okay, inertia from the past that prevents me from changing. What is inertia from the past? Inertia means I want to remain the same, right?
Indeed.
Or it's uncomfortable to be different.
Well, sum total of all of this.
Okay, inertia. All right. Suchitra, what is it that you are saying?
That if you let go part of the illusion, then the whole thing falls apart. And the fire is too much to bear, sir.
The fire of change.
To keep selectively, to keep selective parts of the illusion going and to let go some. So once you want to change, the whole thing comes up for inspection and change.
So we get frightened of that, isn't it? So that's why we don't want to change.
Yeah, it's too much to bear, sir.
So we remain the same and keep cribbing and complaining. Interesting, we human beings are. Anyways, yes, Mr. Abhinav Mathur. I'll call you turn by turn. Abhinav, Shakti, and then Punen.
Yeah, I think people say they want to change, but actually they don't want to change. They want the world to change, but they don't want to change.
Yeah, so
there's no will in them to change.
Why do people not want to change? I mean, for example, if I ask you, Abhinav, why do you not want to change? You're a person who spent his life in self-development programs and all that. Why do people not want to change? Why do you not want to change? We think and we say that we want to change, but we don't want to change, right? Abhinav, because if we did, whenever we want something, we get it, isn't it? Hello. Abhinav, you're there or you've gone? Doesn't matter. Let's talk to Shakti.
Yeah. I would like to listen now. Yeah.
But you don't have any thoughts on the matter, the question which I asked you? Okay, fine. You listen. Yes, Shakti?
Yeah, fear of facing unknown, sir. From the past experience, they are feeling like they want their life to be predictable in their way. They don't want to face the unknown.
Exactly. They don't want to face the unknown, so they want to continue in the same way. Very good. Yes. Thank you very much. Kunen, you have a question, I suppose.
No, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
No, the answer of the question is, in my mind, is that it's because of my own fixed point of views and beliefs about self and others, about the world, etc. And I think I am always right. So whatsoever is there, it is right. Then why should I change and do something else?
Okay. So I'm so stuck on my points of view, and I'm so stuck on believing they're right. So I don't feel the need to change anything. But you do want a new life, right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
people want to create something new in life, or they want to stay the same?
Because of these thought process and the beliefs, they don't find the new possibilities stuck in there.
That I understand. But do you notice the, what shall I say, ambiguity in our life? On the one side, we keep on seeking to learn more and know more So if you ask people why you're doing that, they say, "Nee, I want some transformation in my life. That's why I'm learning new things." At the same time, we want to be stuck in believing whatever we know is right. Right?
Yes, sir.
Do you notice the, really absurdity of this?
Yes, sir.
That we are doing this? See, I say if somebody believes that I'm right and he says I'm absolutely right about everything, then he'll be close to learning, no? Close to discovery, close to doing new things. But I know a lot of people, they're very open to do new things and learn new things. But at the same time, they don't want to give up certain points of views. Therefore, no real change comes in their life. Yeah, so you dwell on that, ponder on that and see why we would do like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Yes, Induji.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Happy morning to everyone. Sir, I'm thinking one of the things that would prevent change would be thinking known devil is better
than an unknown devil.
Yeah, very similar to
than
what
an unknown angel. So if one is unsure about what change will bring and what's ahead, so perhaps that will keep them stuck to their old ways of being.
Very right. Just something quite similar to what Shakti also said, right? Fear of the unknown.
Yes.
But I mean, if there is some transformation in life, something good only will happen, no? Why should we be afraid of something good happening?
Yes.
Interesting thought, isn't it?
Gosh, everyone is as evolved, sir.
No, it's not about evolved or not evolved. Everybody is like that, Now, when it comes to you know somewhere that if I do this, there'll be a magnificent and wonderful change in my life.
Yeah. Yes,
And
yes. That,
we are afraid of it.
I agree, sir. Yes. Quite a number of times when people make those informed choices, that this kind of conviction comes that the change is for the better. However, there are some other areas where I think we'll have to work on, where we're kind of consumed by the doubts. Yes.
So we want to hold on to the doubts.
Yes.
Yeah, so the easy way is to start living by choice.
Oh.
When we live by decisions, this is exactly what will keep happening.
Yes.
I mean, look, people are afraid of death. Right?
Yes.
Why should people be afraid of death? I mean, ultimate bliss, freedom from all this turmoil of this, right? So it can only be better, no?
Yes.
But some people believe, what if I go to hell? What have you done that you'll go to hell? Why can't you go to heaven? And is there a heaven? Or is there a hell? We don't know. But we just make up these stories and remain stuck. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyways, thank you so much, Indu.
Thank you, sir. I'm already beginning to look forward so much to the conversation that is about to come in this session.
The conversation has already begun.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Induji. Yes, Chidambar, you want to say something?
Sir, good morning to all. What I observed in myself, sir, actually, people means myself, I don't want to come out from the comfort zone, because that is the first reason. And the second one is the fear of losing present position or state of living. If we tried anything new, there is a fear of we lose the present situation, we lose the present options or present whatever it may be. And imagination of risk in a wrong prediction means negative imaginations. If I tried this one, if something goes wrong, I will lose this. So it may be hurt me like that. The negative expectations will stop me to change. And sometimes self-doubt is there. Am I capable to do this? If I change something, am I capable to balance this, manage this? All these doubts will come, sir. And we will lead to accidental changes. When it is a need to change, we will change. When it is an option to change, we don't change.
Exactly. When is the need to change coming? When life pushes you,
Yes, sir. Yes.
Then we creates a breakdown. Then we'll change.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So why should we wait? And have you noticed that we are always thinking, oh, something negative will happen? Why don't we think that something great can also happen, no?
Because we might have that self-doubt, sir. Am I capable to this or not?
Yeah, that's the problem.
People will support me or not. Circumstances will on my way or not. All these things.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Suchitra.
What I feel is that people who want a sort of a radical transformation sometimes don't communicate their vision properly, and they are not able to take other people along. And the energy which began the transformation soon runs out, and there is a lot of bloodshed. So that's one of the things, ineffective communication and not being able to take people along and not being able to weather the storm.
That's such a beautiful thing you said, you know. A lot of people who get transformed, they somehow get a holier than thou attitude. So when they communicate with people, people don't get enrolled into that, you know. So the way we communicate is that, oh, there's something wrong with you. You do this and we'll fix you. And nobody wants to be fixed. Yeah, it could be one of those things. Now, one interesting, thought that occurred to me as I was talking to you all was that one of the reasons may be, one of the reasons may be that all this learning and everything, the question I asked Kunayan earlier was that if you don't want to change and if you think that you are always right, why are you going on learning things and going to new programs and stuff like that? One would assume that you are doing it because you want your life to be transformed. But I've also realized one thing, maybe people are going to all these programs and ashram and this and that and whatever it is that they do so that they can be more comfortable. Because we are all chasing after some, unnatural state called bliss. Can you imagine somebody who always wants to be in a state of bliss? He's like a drug addict wanting his fix. So is that why we go for self-improvement programs? So that we can get some eternal peace. And you might, what is eternal peace? You remember, I always say, every experience is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Now, if you approach every experience with this attitude, would you find any experience good or bad? Would you be judging it? So if you're not judging anything, you will be peaceful in every situation because you will say, wow, this is wonderful. Here's another opportunity to become a better version of myself. It is our own unwillingness to give up, reacting and resisting, comparing and judging that does not allow us to be peaceful and blissful in our life. And yet we go on chasing, learn this, learn that, do this, do that, but we don't want to do something very, very fundamental. Now, Leena ji said something very interesting. She said, she put it in the chat box. Why don't you say it to everybody, Leena ji? Why only in the chat box? Sakshi ji, good morning.
We don't want to change our habits. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
We don't want to change our habits. That's why.
We don't want to change our habits. And why do we not want to change our habits? We want to learn things, but we don't want to change our habits. We want to learn things, but we don't want to change our habits. Very interesting, isn't it? You want to add anything to that? Why do we not want to change our habits?
Because we are comfortable in our default mode.
Yeah, it's very comfortable to live your life as, a set of habits. Because you don't have to use your brains when you're doing something habitually. If you want to do things differently, changing habits means you have to do things differently. And doing things differently requires you to think differently. And who wants to think? Thinking is very uncomfortable, isn't it? From our teenage time, you might have noticed. When people ask you, Bacha, bada hoke kya karna hai? That was a very uncomfortable question, wasn't it? Yes, Ratanji. Ratanji, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think when I want to say, when I go to a temple or attend a program, I consciously want to change, but the habits are in the subconscious mind, which require a lot of effort to bring changes. And half the time we are not ready for that. Subconscious mind doesn't allow us to change. Like in some people call it paradigms.
Yeah, paradigm is a set of points of views that we live from.
Yeah, so we are very comfortable with that. And to change, we feel, okay, we'll do it today, tomorrow, we'll do it today, tomorrow, but it never happens.
That is why, there's a lot of people say that if you want parivartan in your life, aapko tapasya karni padegi.
Correct.
Tapasya means going through the fire.
Correct.
And going through the fire means thinking and confronting, old habits.
Right. Literally walking on fire.
Yeah, because it's quite uncomfortable to change your habits, no?
Yeah.
You talk to a smoker who's trying to give up smoking. I mean, I used to be like that for about 5 years. And one fine day, I just gave it up. But for those 5 years, if anybody, I tried to give it up, but it was difficult. So I never seriously tried. So that's the way it is. So Sakshi ji, anything you'd like to add to this conversation?
Good morning, everyone. Not really. Even I have a same viewpoint that there are two reasons a person resists a change. One is the comfort level of the past and the present, where we are, like Leena ji said, a default mode, or Shakti said, that we are so comfortable in what is going on in our life. And second reason, the fear of uncertainty, that we really don't know if at all we'll change, will it be helpful or harmful? So that fear of uncertainty would make us rather not change, rather be the way we are. Thank you.
Very interesting. Yes. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, Abhinav. Go ahead.
So Sukhdeepak, I was looking at your question from my life, not like as a general statement looking at other people. I was looking at myself.
Yeah.
And then so I said, let me look at my diabetes. Okay. Now I know I should not eat sweets. I know that I should not eat too much. I know I should not eat oily stuff. I know I should do some exercises. I know I should take my blood sample every 3 days, but I don't do that. Why? I've been asking me this question.
Yeah, why?
Why I'm not and technically I know I'm harming myself, and I'm thinking, and still I'm trying to find an answer why. And one of the answers is that the pain of having, like the consequences are not so painful right now. But at the time when I had 6, one after another 6, क्या कहते हैं वो अपना laser in my left eye, 6 laser in my right eye, and then injection a few days back happened. That was the time I was saying I'm going to be, and see, injection was actually not so painful. The laser is more painful because injection is you are into, उस समय तो क्या कहते हैं सुन्न कर देते हैं ना आपको, so पता भी, you don't feel it, but the lasers are you feel it, and it goes for a very long time, and then when the laser is hitting the eye, and that time it hits the nerve and it's very painful, then you say अब से मैं ध्यान रखूंगा, so maybe the consequences are not known to us. Maybe the what may lead to these bad habits, or these habits we are not. I think it is that we don't know the consequences of our current habits.
Yeah. So like Chidambar was saying a little while back.
Yeah.
He says that until the circumstances force us to change, we don't change.
We don't change. Yeah. Until it is so painful that you have to change.
Right.
We wait for that shit to hit inside our mouth. Only then we will change.
Yeah, hit inside your eyes or mouth or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Yes, Kunayan sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just wanted to add on, sir. The thoughts came to my mind. Is it, sir, also because of no clarity about the future self, or no accountability of self or my life? I personally believe that, as you mentioned, that there's no death. So is it because of lack of accountability? Like nobody is going to ask me, or I'm just living my life as I want to live. Is it also because of that reason we don't?
Because see, Kunayan sir, we have been always like this, externally driven. What does that mean? Externally driven, circumstance driven. बाहर से हमको डंडा चाहिए, बाहर से हमको inspiration चाहिए. We are not self-driven people, right? One of the major purposes of the Empowering Morning Conversation is that we become self-driven. Instead of being, feeling driven or externally driven or consequence driven. Consequences क्या होते हैं? See, on the one side, there is a fear of consequences. On the other side is your commitment. Right? So the question to ask ourselves is, do I want to create my life? Yeah, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose I'm trying to fulfill? What do I say? That means my word has no power by itself, is it? If somebody comes and inspires me, then I will do it. If somebody frightens me, I will do it. If I'm accountable to someone means what? मुझे कोई जवाबदारी देनी पड़ेगी किसी को. अरे बाबा, we are accountable to ourselves, na? But people don't see this because it's my life. I'd like to live my life happy, powerful, excited, passionate, make the most out of it because it is my life. But here is the, what shall I say, anomaly, that unless I'm accountable, then I will not live my life. So I was doing a training program in a college, set of Neeti knows the college. All right. And people paid that 5 lakh rupees or something to be a part of that college. And they had to fine students 100 rupees for missing college. I was telling those students, how stupid can you be? You pay for something and then somebody has to charge you 100 rupees fine to make sure that you come to the class. So the fear of losing 100 rupees and paying 100 rupees fine is more important than getting what you paid for. See, we want to be happy in life. We want to be powerful in life. We want to be effective in life. We want to be successful in life. And we need somebody to be accountable for. Fine, if you want somebody to be accountable, find someone. But is that a good thing? That means all my life I'll need somebody to be accountable to. Can I not be accountable to myself and my word? So if I say I want to be healthy, who wants to be healthy? I want to be healthy. Can I be accountable to myself? That I said I want to be healthy. I say I want to be successful. Can I be accountable to myself? That I said I want to be successful. I said that I want to live my life honestly like a good person. Then I'm accountable to myself, right? Or am I going to do it because God will be upset with me? So you tell me, I mean, when I say you, I'm not saying only you, Kunayan, I'm saying to everybody, which one is more powerful way of living? That I'm accountable to my own words. I'm accountable to my own commitments. That because I say, now that's where the weakness lies. And that's what we are trying to overcome here. If you look at the yesterday's session and day before session, I was talking about what kind of a life do you want to create? And what are your habits that will stop you or inhibit you? Yeah, that will not let you create the life you want. And yesterday we were looking at what are the habits you will have to create so that you can have the life that you want. Do you remember that? That's what we did yesterday. Kunal Sahab, anything you'd like to add to this?
No, sir. Thank you so much. I think I got clarity.
Right. Thank you. Because this is a big thing, because we are all conditioned from childhood that we'll only do something if we are frightened of somebody, right? If we have fear of losing something or blah, blah, blah. So we are not actually self-driven. Self-driven people are driven by their own word. They are driven by their own commitment. And that's what we'd like to be. So let me very quickly, for the sake of people who came late, remind everyone what we are doing here. We are here in the Empowering Morning Conversations, and these conversations allow us to live a life that we choose rather than be stuck in life. Yeah, live a life that we choose and live a life where we don't feel like a victim. You understand victim? A victim is a victim to other people's thoughts, other people's judgments, victim to life, victim to circumstances. So we want to live like a victim, or do we want to be in charge of our life and create our life? So we are victims because we are constantly being influenced by negative things in our life. We can't help it. We are bombarded by so much negativity that even enters into our subconscious mind. Now that is one mode. Okay. And in the default mode, we don't have any freedom. We don't have a freedom of choice. And we all yearn for it. Kash aisa hota, kash vaisa hota, मुझे लेके चलो उस दुनिया में जहां गम भी ना हो, आंसू भी ना हो. But we are stuck in the daldal of this life and we don't want to get out of it. So that's why we come here every morning to work on our mind and our bodies and our emotions and our energies, right? So that we can live a life of choice. Living a life of choice will allow us the freedom to create the kind of life we want, right? We have the power to create it, provided we are able to get out of this morass, daldal bolte Hindi mein, morass, quicksand. Get out of this quicksand of this everyday circumstances of life. We all stuck in it. Nobody got us stuck into it. We got stuck into it. So if you're willing, and so that's why you 28 people are here. Some of you come on time, some of you come a little late, but you do come. And because you come, we are working with you to allow us to be more positive, to see more possibilities. Possibilities of what? We want to see possibilities of creating a life that we would like to create. हम सपने देखते हैं. काश ऐसा होता, काश वैसा होता. We look, we dream and we yearn. We say, no, yeah, I dream life, but I don't know. इस जन्म में तो नहीं होगा. It is too late now. I'm already 50 years old. I'm already 40 years old. I'm already 60 years old. And then we give up. A lot of people say, oh, हमने बड़ा कोशिश किया life में. I failed many times. It means I can't do it. So all that we can give up and choose to create life and be free from all this negativity. Does that excite you? And if you can be free from this negativity, then all of life will come to me with ease, joy, and glory. Now, this is a magic mantra from Access Consciousness. And one day you will come to Access Consciousness, I hope, and move to another level. And we wait for that day to come. But in everyday morning conversations, your regular participation will help you to have a life that comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. How wonderful is that? So we are talking about creating life. Okay? Whatever it is that you want to create. Yesterday's question was, what new habits are you willing to develop? Everything starts with one. Okay? It starts with one thought, one step, one action. So I am requesting each and every one of you, a habit, you know, in managerial language, we call it operative practice. Yeah? Anything which is an operative practice you do every day. That's the way you do things. It's called an operative practice. So what is one critical new operative practice that you will start to do from today that will allow you to create your life? So everybody knows that one big one which you need to change. So forget about the change. What new operative practice? See, I've been working a lot on changing habits, okay? They say that when a pattern is formed in your brain, it never goes away. So you can't erase it. But what you do is, if you don't use that pattern very often, it goes into the background. So you create a new pattern, and the new pattern takes over. That means if you create a new habit, the new habit will take over. So operative practice is another name for habit. So what is one big new operative practice that you will start to do from now? And if you did that, it will make a big change in your life. And this is what I want you guys to think and share with me. Some of you will think of something immediately and you can share that. Some thought, whatever it comes. Because what you share might open up and give ideas to other people also. They'll say, oh yeah, I can also change this. You getting that? So who would like to start? What is that one new operative practice that you will start doing that will take you towards a life that you wish to create? Yes, Kunen.
Yes, sir. Thank you. What I am going to do is, sir, that right now, time to time, I got into the trap of my amygdala hijack. So what I'm going to do as a new habit is not very impulsive and reactive in that particular moment, but give a pause, think quickly, and then respond instead of reacting. So the habit, the new habit would be managing my thoughts more attentively and then respond instead of reacting in those moments of amygdala hijack.
Yeah, so that's a very beautiful operative practice. If you can pull it off, you know. Very nice. Thank you very much for sharing it. So lots of people can take this on. Yes, Milanji.
Free myself of my past inhibition so that I can embrace the new, the beginning.
Can you tell an action point, please? What would you do to free yourself of the past?
Past inhibition is a sum total of various things, but as I see is judgmental, something first I'm going to give up. The kind of fear of being, you know, reprimanded by others and not liking my this thing, that I have to give it up. These are two, this thing I see. My major undoing I have to do.
Nothing major about it. You can do it now that you know it.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Others can learn a lot from this. Yes, Madam Priya, Professor Priya.
Yes, sir. So recently, a lot of thoughts are coming in regarding this new job. Like, am I at the right place, or I'm doing like, कुछ ठीक कर भी रहा या नहीं हो रहा? Like, lot of self-doubt, I guess. So I'm gonna acknowledge it and tell that okay, I'll see to all of these things after a month. So I'm gonna do this.
So what is the practice? The practice is do not allow any irrelevant thoughts to come into the mind. Yeah. Do my work 100%.
But they're coming in. I don't know how to deal with them.
You don't know how to deal with what?
with the thoughts that are coming in my mind.
Yeah,
Like,
so we've taught you certain practices, no? Keeping your attention in your control will allow you to put your thoughts where they should be. देखिए ख्यालों में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, राइट? मगर ख्याल वहां डालिए ना जहाँ पे आपको कुछ फायदा हो,
right?
अपना ध्यान वहां डालिए. So we taught you that exercise of doing different objects, right? Otherwise, you can practice that crazy statement which we have taught you. Then your thoughts will come under control, and then you focus them where you should be. So where you should focus your thoughts now: how to do my lecture better, how to do my classes better, how can I contribute?
Yeah, how creatively I can do all of that.
Yeah, how to contribute to my students. Now those are the areas where you want to focus your attention. ठीक है? जब ज़्यादा negative में जाएगा आपका ख्याल, then you can do those crazy statements. You remember, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is opposite.
Yeah,
and
so
nothing is opposite of what it appears to be.
Exactly. Then your mind will be free to focus where you should focus. जहाँ हमको ध्यान डालना चाहिए वहाँ हमको ध्यान डालना चाहिए, ना कि जो हमें डिफीट करता हो. So that's a good operative practice, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. Bye.
Thank you.
Yes, Suchitra ji, future bars teacher.
Sir, what I think is that every stroke of insight or brilliant idea that I have regarding somebody, I will communicate it without any expectation that it will be received or I will get something back out of it. This keeps my own stream of enthusiasm going, sir, and my own self-confidence high, so that the whole cycle of expectation is cut.
Yeah, that's fine. That's about people, right? Now your fertile brain comes out with many other ideas too, really brilliant ones. In a similar fashion, if you convert every idea of yours into an action, what do you think will happen? Then you will be also known as a writer, just like our friend Sakshi is. You know, Sakshi is a writer. Yeah, and you are a writer who refuses to publish your writings. So I'm just referring to it in passing. But you know what? You had a wonderful insight just now, that if I have an insight or a realization, I will communicate it. In a similar fashion, we can also have an operative practice that if I have an idea, I will take one action with it. At least I'll write it down. Then I will choose to take another action or not.
Yeah, sir. So the things that involve just me, I act, sir. But sometimes it involves another human being and their consent or whatever, their enrollment is needed. But so what I think is I used to be very paralyzed by in even communicating that idea. So that's what I was talking about, sir.
Good. So at least you realize that the area of enrolling people into your ideas is what you have to start working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will allow you to create a big life, new life.
Yeah.
So there are some important people you have to enroll, isn't it?
Yes.
For some important results to happen in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I can see them happening now.
Yes.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So the question was very clear. What new operative practice are you going to develop so that you can have a life that you desire? I'm only asking you to tell me one action. So Sakshi, can you think of one new operative practice that you will develop that give you a life that you desire? You clear now what life you desire?
Yes, very much. See, sorry. I have this nasty habit of, see how it is. If there are 24 hours in a day, say for 22 hours, 23 hours, I'm in my positive zone, enthusiastic, curious, and very comfortable in my being. But then there are there is a time, maybe once in a day, once in 2 days, or once in a week, I go into negative zone where I start doubting myself. I start thinking myself as a victim, or that why me kind of thing, why it happened to me, or why I am at the, you can say, facing all this and all. So then I go into that negative zone, then starting doubting myself and being not so comfortable and not so enthusiastic, leaving everything on circumstances. So I feel I should not let that first thought also come into my mind, be so mindful, be so controlling about my thoughts, that then that momentary negative zone, or sometimes it goes into loop, should not happen with me. As what happens that again coming to positive zone, I have to work on myself, listen to some positive
we have taught these
by Shivani. Sorry, sir?
We have taught these group exercises that allow you to keep your attention in your. See, the problem is your attention is hooked at that moment to negative thoughts. So you need to shift your attention from that to possibility thoughts. Yeah. So one of these days we will revise those, tomorrow or day after. And those practices are very easy practices. So when I'll tell you one practice right now, you can practice it with us. Everybody can. This is one of the tools from Access Consciousness, that when your mind gets getting stuck on this negative mode, you start saying this statement, your mind will be free, and then you can focus it on what you want to focus it on. Yeah. So we call it the crazy statement. And I invite everybody to say it with me. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Say it.
Everything is opposite to what it appears to be.
And nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Nothing is opposite of what it
appears to be.
Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is opposite of what
it appears to be, and nothing is
opposite of what it appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. So you say this statement about 10-15 times, your mind will be free. It's like, when your computer hangs, what do? You reset it. The computer hangs because it gets into a loop. So your mind, when it gets into, stuckness with regard to negative things, you need to get it out of it. So say this statement 10 times, simplest things to do. And then you say, all right, what do I choose to put my attention on? What do I choose to put my attention on? Obviously, you choose to put your attention on what is positive, right? So that's one way you can start. So thank you for sharing that, because it happens to a lot of people. And it's always good, Sakshi, to remember what is it that you desire in life. A lot of times we've given up, even thinking about what we desire. So we only think about surviving thoughts. Ek din aur khush rehna hai mujhe. That's a surviving thought. Ek din mujhe aur khush rehna hai. Wo bhi acha hai. But what is it that you desire? How many things you desire you gave up? Is it too late to fulfill your desires? Even if it's a desire to contribute to people, it's a desire, no? If it's a desire to contribute to yourself, that's also a desire. Why should you not? Now, did God come and write your story in such a way कि मुझे बीना कुमारी बन के रहना पड़ेगा? I mean, it doesn't have to be a sad story. Does it? A lot of us think, नहीं, हमारा तो life में tragedy लिखा है. So we don't put our attention on that. And you're a writer, no? What story of your life would you like to write? Imagine if you're writing an autobiography And you're writing in that autobiography, in the year 2021, I went for empowering morning conversations and I discovered the possibility of starting a new life. So I made that choice. And look, what a wonderful life opened up for me. I'd love to read that book when you write it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mathur Sahab, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is a very simple habit. If like before going to sleep, writing down next day what all actions I'm going to take, and then looking at those actions, every day, like looking at those actions during the day, and that again going to before going to sleep, again writing down what actions I will take next day, what has been accomplished, what is left out. Because what happens is that I think ye kaam main karunga, and then the space of the world takes over, and many important things which are really close to me are left out, and I end up wasting a lot of my time, and then the overall experience of life is very frustrating one.
And the important thing is, how long will you keep it up?
Yeah, it happens. I start with it, then I just forget.
Exactly. Anyway, but that's a good start. So keep it up.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So who else? Anybody else? So that's the thought for the day. It's not only a thought, it's an action for the day. Rama, can you think of something? Yeah. Of course, sir. Ashok ji, you are always welcome.
Well, we have participants of every age.
Yep.
And the situation changes at every age.
Yep.
Now, though I think I am young and working and this and that and that and that, but the face and posture, etc., shows that that is not so. What I want to inculcate in me is the people ask for advice, people ask for comments, people ask कि ठीक किया क्या करना चाहिए था, or in private life with relatives. The tone, if I want to criticize, my tone should become calmer and calmer. It should not be equal to that criticism. When the criticism and the tone both are angry or very harsh, the effect is much stronger, I agree. But the person is not receptive because he feels that I am complaining, I am criticizing. Whereas I am trying to improve his habits. So the more criticism I go, my tone should become calmer. That is the practice I would like to have, because
wonderful.
I feel that I feel that my tone also gets very harsh. That I should be able to control.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Can I tell you one thing?
Sure.
I started working on it. So I came out with a wonderful method. The method is simple. I will ask a question. So for example, somebody is making a mistake and obviously he knows that he has made a mistake. And that is why he's come to ask you that advice. So I'll ask him a question.
Correct.
Do you really want to rectify this situation? He'll say, of course, that is why I've come to you. Then I'll say, are you sure?
Yeah. Okay.
He'll say, yes, sir, tabhi to hum aapke paas aaye hain. I'll say, okay, so what action will you do differently that will allow you to not make the mistake? So don't tell him, you ask him. Let him use his brain. Because I found that when people discover for themselves, कि sir, मुझे ये change करना होगा. Oh, very good, fantastic, how intelligent you are. फिर आपको criticize करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है ना.
Yeah, then it becomes he discovers himself and improves himself. There is nothing.
So
I only to sure, good.
Like a person, like what I'm doing here is I'm asking a lot of questions.
Yeah,
I think it's a better way to do things. So anyway, thank you so much. It's always, we are still waiting for you to agree to give a small session to our.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I am also I'm also waiting to improve the situation at my place here in the morning.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
The desk is shared by 3 people. Becomes difficult.
Sushma ji, good morning.
Wonderful morning, Sukhdeep ji and everyone else.
Sukhdeepak yaar, not Sukhdeep.
वो गलती से हो गया, नहीं तो मुझे पता है, sorry. Apologies. Okay, what I want to change is, and I'm working on it, not to take things too personally.
नहीं, वो not to का action point नहीं बन सकता है.
Okay.
So what is it that you will do? If you tell your mind something don't do, तो वो तो definitely करेगा. क्योंकि don't उसको सुनाई नहीं देता है.
मुझे तो आपका वही मंत्र याद आता है. This is a wonderful opinion. That's it.
It's an interesting point of view.
Yes, it is an interesting point of view.
And it's interesting that you have this point of view.
Thank you.
We can also say it to ourselves, huh, by the way.
Yes.
When we are judging somebody, you say, oh, Sukhdeepak, that's an interesting point of view.
Yes, this is what I did last time when I was feeling this. I told to myself.
And then it worked?
It worked. लेकिन it takes time. थोड़ा time लग रहा है.
कोई बात नहीं. आप दुबई में हो ना?
हाँ जी.
ठीक है. मैं और रमा आ रहे हैं उधर.
Oh, great. कभी?
I think Rama, when are we going to Dubai?
December last week. 24th to 28th, we are planning to have the boss session and foundation.
I'll be in India that time. I'm traveling to India after 3 years in December.
कोई बात नहीं. How long are you there in India? Because I'll be coming back, no?
Yeah, I'll be here for 3 weeks. So I'm going there on 10th and coming back on 31st.
Ew. Of?
December.
Oh, so you just about escaped us.
But she'll be there from December 10th to.
Where are you guys,
20th.
sir? Where are you guys going to be?
In Dubai.
Dubai.
Dubai. Oh, okay. My cousin lives there.
Good. Make a trip to Dubai. So anyways, good, Sushma. Thank you.
Thank you.
When are you going to be there?
What is that, Neelam?
She wants to know when.
December 24th to 28th.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rama.
Yeah, maybe up to the 29th also.
Yeah, we'll go earlier. I think 22nd to 30th.
Maybe we'll stay there and celebrate the New Year.
Yeah, the New Year as
You
well.
guys are doing the Access Consciousness?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So 22nd to Jan 2nd, sir. So let's plan that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I can meet.
For the New Year.
There's possibilities, you know. Anyway, so that's it. Now, I think Ratanji said that sometimes, you know, our habits are in our subconscious mind, so it's difficult to change. And other people are also saying that it's difficult to change. So I have a question for you to dwell on, to reflect on, dwell on. The question is, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be that will allow me to change the habits which I want to change? Okay? And everything times a godzillion, will I destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, good and bad, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So you got that question? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be that will allow me to change the habits that I want to change? And everything times a godzillion, will I destroy and uncreate it all? And you be in this question and see magic happening in your life. You willing to make magic happen in your life? Good. So thank you very much, everybody, for your participation today. Rama, Kunen, and Vetrivel, please stay on. I invite the rest of you to join us tomorrow morning at the same time. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Bye.